You will need a 6.5 by 6.5 inch square for the background, a 6.5 by 6.5 inch square of batting. I'm using a really thin cotton, great way to use up scraps. And you will need a plethora of 1-inch strips. I just cut them 1 inch width of fabric. I have a lot of vintage Christmas fabric that was from my grandmother's stash. And so I just cut a bunch of it into 1-inch strips and then put them in this bag. So line up your backing and your top piece, and then you're gonna just eyeball the center. You can make this, I've made them 4 inches, and then I've also made them that are 5 inches. Sorry, I had to measure it really fast. So I'm starting with a piece of white fabric, which is not very easy to see, I know, but that's just how I'm making these right now. So you're gonna just find your center of your block as well as you can. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you're gonna place your white piece of fabric with the design, or your center piece of fabric with the design side up. And I don't have that one designed side up, do I? No, it's designed side up. With the design side up. It's easier to do if it's not a white on white fabric. Oh, and that is a 1-inch by 1-inch piece of fabric. Okay, now you are just going to choose another type of fabric to go on as your first line. I'm choosing this. I've cut another 1-inch by 1-inch piece of fabric. Ignore my band-aid. That was from a disastrous moment earlier. And you're just going to lay that right sides together on top of your batting. Like I said, it does not have to be perfectly in the center, but you do want to line up those pieces of fabric. Now you just want to bring this over to your sewing machine. I'm sewing it with a 1/4 of an inch stitch with my 1/4 of an inch foot, and you are just going to sew along one line. I reverse the stitches. Okay. Cut your fabric. I'm using green on the top and green on the bottom, just so that it doesn't look as bad on the back, because I'm using a dark green backing. And you're just going to open this up. I just finger press. If it starts to get kind of wonky, then I'll take it over. This one is a little bit wonky, but it'll be fine, I promise. So I just finger press it open, okay? So now what you're going to do is you just pick a side. Doesn't really matter which side. And you're going to lay this fabric down on top, and then you're going to cut it across right there where the white fabric ends. It's really hard to do this one-handed to show you, so you'll just have to take my word on it. You can mark it with a pen. You can be crazy like me and just cut it with a pair of scissors and hope for the best. That's what I usually end up doing. Okay, I've got that cut and lined up, and now I'm going to just sew across one side again. Like I said, I like to backstitch so that I know that it's really well in there. Cut your thread and open it up. Like I said, I just finger press. Okay, now we're starting our log cabin block. Now we're going to take another color and we're going to put it along this line. So now I've chosen a fabric and I've sewn it across this way, pressed it open, and now we're going to put, now we're going to put that same fabric along this edge. So your block is going to go this way and then this way. Okay, so now I have sewn a square, basically. And this is just how you create a log cabin block. So now I'm going to pick another color and I'm going to sew it along here and then along here, and then you just keep building that up. I typically make them like this, so that they are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers big on both sides. I have made some that were 3 layers big on both sides. And this is what the back ends up looking like. I have not trimmed my threads yet, but you see it's like a quilted little block. And I'll show you how to finish it in just a second. Here's another layer. And another layer. You can carefully choose your prints and design it how you want, or you can be like me, who literally just reaches in and doesn't pick duplicates, but that's pretty much all that I do. I also had my 3-year-old just a few minutes ago. You can hear said 3-year-old. I had my 3-year-old completely design one just a few minutes ago. So we're gonna sew this one along this line and then along this line and continue building. There's that layer. Now we're gonna go this one and then this one. Okay, so now you're at 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 from the center. So you can stop here, but I'm gonna go ahead and add one more, more on each side. So I'm gonna go across here to start with and then go up here. And last round. Okay, now I'm going to take it over and press it, and then I'm going to put a seam all the way around 1/4 of an inch away from the outside. Okay, now we're just going to go 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Okay, now I have sewn all the way around the outside, and we are going to take, you can take regular scissors. I'm going to use these, whatever they're called, that make a pinking shears, there we go, that make like a little design. And I'm just going to cut and cut into the fabric, but being very careful not to cut the stitching, just like this one to trim it. Okay, you've got your block done. Okay, Rory, just a second. And you have something that you're going to attach to the back of it to act as your hanger. I typically leave one of the ending ones the same color as my thread so that I can sew it on. I just sew it on like that. So here's the back. Again, this is not cleaned up. I haven't cut my threads. There's the back of that, how it's sewn on. I'm sure you could make this neater, but I mean, this is a quick little 15-minute gift idea once you have your stuff cut out. It took me 15 minutes to make this. If you wanted to make it look a little bit more finished, you can just do the quilt as you go method onto a piece of just the batting and then attach a piece of the backing to it. Like put the piece of the backing on. You're not going to get the quilted design back here. You're just going to get it to look like that. And again, this one is not perfect. This is just a really quick one that I did this morning.